Larry not only has his own set of numbers, but we are going to take a look at Farzad's and AJ's and do some comparisons and contracting and contrasting. And I have not prepared my own numbers, Larry. I'm starting to find that, as I get older and older, it's more fun to be the critic.
It's always more fun to be the critic. Come on.
All right. So
what I did is I took my format and I assigned AJ's numbers to his column, and I assigned Farzad's numbers to his column. And I actually have the ability now, by a fairly clever set of macros, actually code that ChatGPT helped me do.
wow.
It didn't help me. It didn't stop me from screwing up, I have to tell you. But anyway, that's a separate subject. But what I'm able to do is almost semi-automatically populate comparative tables. And I have right now the tables that I have of the people who have posted so far, AJ and Farzad, and I've got them compared to my own projection. I don't have my working papers here. I don't have my working calculations in this, but I can tell you how I got to mine. I'm not entirely sure how they got to theirs.
Right.
Although AJ does give a fairly good methodology, or he gave one a little bit in a prior quarter, I think. But let's look at the numbers. So we can take them line by line, then we can talk about them generally. So revenues are the most interesting, one of the most interesting. I mean, it's all interesting, really. So automotive, I have 20,415,000 million, and AJ has 20 billion and 18,000, and his includes, by the way, regulatory. So I'm quite a bit higher than he is.
All right, let me quickly restate. So I'm seeing here automotive for you is 20,415 million. He is 20,018 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Farzad is 19,910,000, which is
910 million.
910 million. Yes, excuse me. Which is quite modest for Farzad, because his numbers are normally pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
And then I break out regulatory, as does Farzad, and I guess AJ's is just incorporated into his 20 billion.
Okay.
So he's quite a bit lower than I am, and even Farzad's lower than I am. And I think my average selling price was less discounted than the others. And I think I'm a little bit skewed in Europe to higher. And even in the US, but we'll find out. We'll find out. This may be a weak point of my calculation.
So, Larry, one of my big questions was the way that Tesla was doing most of their promotion in the last quarter was through the reduction in the lending rate, and that could actually, if you're talking about a 1% or a 0%, could be a $4,000 or $5,000 per car. Do you know if you are all three dealing with the bookkeeping on that the same way? Is that reducing revenues? Is it coming out?
I don't see it as reducing immediate revenues. I see it as part of the leasing cost.
The leasing cost.
Yeah, and so I think both Farzad and AJ have taken it as part of the selling price. So I don't think from an accounting point of view you discount it up front, because Tesla carries its own paper.
Right.
So if there's a cost to come, it'll come in the future when they sell that paper. And it all depends.
I see what you're saying. If they do the loan themselves initially, but what about, there are times when they are paying down the loan from others. With that, so we got a whole bunch of bookkeeping issues. I'm just wondering if it's $4,000 or $5,000 on X number of vehicles, at least that it gets picked up somewhere. I guess that's my question. Not on the leases, but on the sales.
Well, there are two ways to do it. It could be picked up immediately when you sell that paper, because you're going to sell that paper at a discount to its face value.
Right.
Or it'll get picked up over time as you realize that lease.
Right.
Or it's not picked up at all. It's just in a lower earnings on that lease. I'm not sure how the bookkeeping would do it.
All right. Okay.
I guess these guys are taking that as a direct discount, and I didn't, and maybe that's a weakness in my analysis.